to the entertainer talking sports.
What is going on, football fans? Back at it with another New York Giants video. Took a day off yesterday, but I'm back at it talking about the Giants news. In addition to that, I will have a video that was much requested by at least 3 or 4 of my subscribers regarding the power rankings after the draft and where I would have the New York Giants. I'm going to rank all 32 teams. Should have that video up today as well, and I'll try to have another one up as well. If not, you know how I do it. I'll have a lot of videos up throughout the week. But in this video, I'm going to talk about some of the quotes that came off of the mouth of Eli Manning yesterday regarding Daniel Jones. I meant to have this up yesterday. In addition to that, came out with some quotes today regarding the new offensive coordinator, Jason Garrett. So Eli had a lot to say. Matter of fact, it might have been the same interview, but I saw the quotes on Giants Wire today about Garrett. But he had a lot to say about the new look offense for the New York Giants and talked about how he thinks that Daniel Jones will progress, in large part due to the fact that he may no longer be there. Of course, Eli Manning, a living legend, the greatest quarterback in New York Giants history, in my opinion, on the Mount Rushmore of New York Giants, 2-time Super Bowl winner. It's a lot to live up to for Daniel Jones. And with Eli on the roster, well, he's kind of looking over his back. Of course, Daniel Jones, throughout his entire career, since he's been in the league for 1 year, has said that Eli Manning had a lot to do with his progression as an NFL quarterback in his rookie season, and hopefully Daniel Jones could take what he learned and build off of it in year 2. Eli Manning also went on to say a lot of good things about Jason Garrett. Of course, Eli played against Garrett throughout the course of his career for the most part, and he got to see, from a quarterback's perspective, what Jason Garrett could bring to the table to an offense. So I wanted to jump into some of those quotes to give my thoughts on what Eli had to say about both Jones and Garrett. We're going to start with the quotes on Daniel Jones. Got this off Giants Wire. It was initially reported by the New York Post. I think he's proven to be tough and works hard. He's done all the right things. He has gone in with that approach of keeping his head down and not saying more than he has to, working hard and earning the respect from the teammates. Now he can elevate that where now he's in charge. The questions are coming to him from the coordinator. He's going to have to give his voice and his opinion on things. And of course, he was kind of hinting there, and he said it later in the interview. I'm not 100% sure if I pulled up the quotes, but he's saying he's in charge. When Eli was there, it was still Eli's team. Even with Daniel Jones starting, Eli was the captain. Eli was the guy. Now Daniel Jones will be the leader of this football team. It'll be interesting to see if he does get a captain badge in year 2, as we're looking for Daniel Jones to take over the leadership role for this team. And some subscribers of mine asked me, could Jones be the captain at Barclays? But I thought about it after the fact. I mean, last year Barkley was and Eli was. So I think Daniel Jones is a good chance will become the captain, and I think he's going to take what he learned from Eli, how to be a leader, how to deal with the media, how to deal with the New York teammates, and build off of it. So encouraging things there coming out of the mouth of Eli Manning regarding Daniel Jones. And here he is talking further about Jones. I think it will be easier this year for him to kind of step up as that leader, Manning said Monday on Sirius XM NFL Radio. Last year was probably awkward for him. Me being there, me being in meeting rooms, and just kind of the whole dynamic. Me being gone, and hey, he is the quarterback. He is the guy. For him to have that control and the authority over the receivers and the offensive line. And that just sums up Eli Manning in a nutshell. Completely selfless. He was always about the team, and he's even admitting, I might have been holding Daniel Jones back from a leadership standpoint. I'm sure Eli Manning showed him by example how to be a leader, and hopefully Daniel Jones learns from that and learns how to be the leader in the huddle, in the locker room, and things of that nature. Something that Eli Manning brought to the Giants each and every day of his long career. Now, regarding Jason Garrett, I've competed against Coach Garrett and his teams most of my career, and I have a great respect for him and as an offensive mind and a Jersey guy. Manning said during a Sirius XM radio interview on Monday, I think he'll do a wonderful job, and Coach Judge will get the team going back in the right direction. I think they're headed in the right way. And of course, some of my subscribers will tell me, well, what do you think he's going to say? Of course he's going to say positive things. He's a former Giant. It's still great to hear this, and I agree with this. A lot of people point to Jason Garrett, and they say he's a horrible coach. We make fun of the clapping. Of course, he was the head coach for the Dallas Cowboys, and I made fun of him just as much as anybody. But at the end of the day, his resume speaks for himself. In terms of being a play caller and an offensive coordinator throughout the course of his career, even though he wasn't calling the plays the last few years with the Dallas Cowboys, they were routinely in the top 10 of the league, sometimes in the top 5 in total offense with an undrafted quarterback with Tony Romo. So the thinking here by me and by Eli Manning in this quote is that, yeah, Jason Garrett should be able to perform very well, especially with an improved offensive line. Maybe they could use another weapon, and maybe they get that next year. But I do think Jason Garrett will do a fine job with this offense. And then finally, I know this has got to be, it's obviously tough on a lot of people, but in the sports world, Try to put a team together when you can't be with them, Manning said. It's got to be hard not to be able to practice and have a spring, especially with a new coach and new systems going in. And there he's just talking about the challenges that the New York Giants will face in year one, and there's no doubt about that. But every team has to face that. Of course, the New York Giants, like he said, have a brand new coaching staff. They're learning new systems, brand new players. It's a completely new team, and they don't have the familiarity probably of a lot of other teams in the league. The successful teams like the 49ers and the Chiefs, for the most part, are bringing back the core pieces of their football team. The Giants have a new core. They have a new coaching staff. They have new coordinators. And that will be a challenge this year. There's no doubt about it with what's going on in the world. But I have no doubt in my mind with Joe Judge's work ethic, Daniel Jones's work ethic, and some of the experienced coaches that they brought in on this staff, they'll get the ball rolling sooner than later. At the beginning of the year. Well, maybe we'll take a game or two for everyone to get acclimated, the new offensive line, the new systems. That's completely possible. But regardless, this team is headed in the right direction. I think they're going down the right path, and I look for them to compete in the very near future. I'm not going to put too high of expectations this year because of some of the things that Eli Manning said, and I still think they're a work in progress. But I completely agree with Eli Manning when he says this team's going places. They're headed in the right direction, and you could see it from a mile away. As always, guys, if you liked what you watched, please subscribe, drop a comment, maybe give me a little thumbs up. Cheers.